What I have on the bench today is a seat from our Lotus Elise. This is the passenger seat, driver's seat is exactly the same. This is in for our retrim. Now, you can probably see that the cover is no longer attached to the seat. I'm not sure whether this is a genius idea or just Lotus trying to do things cheap. I know Lotus did do quite a lot of innovative things in motor racing, and this is one that I've not seen before. Basically, it's just a fiberglass seat with some foam attached, quite hard foam, and the fabric is just literally glued on. The seat base here is just a cushion that is glued on to the cover that's glued on to the rest of the seat. So they've kind of made things a little bit easy, yeah, which makes my job a little bit easy as well. Now, what I need to do is remove everything that is on the seat. This fabric was a foam backed fabric, a bit like headlining fabric or some seating fabric that has the fabric, then the foam, and then a scrim layer of fabric on the back of the foam. This is just the same, and what you see here is the scrim that is still attached. The foam has completely deteriorated, which has made the cover come away. So the first thing I need to do is to remove the seat itself from the runners. I say runners on the passenger seat. It's a static seat, there's no runners at all, it is just literally bolted into the car, 4 bolts, and that is it. The driver's seat obviously has a runner on because it's got adjustment, but it'll be the same, it'll be bolted in exactly the same way. It's just 2 bolts at the front and 2 bolts on the sides here. So I'll remove those, remove the seatbelt buckle, remove the cover, and then see where I'm at that point. I do need to remove this scrim layer. Now, how well this is attached to the foam, I don't know. Whether I can actually remove it without damaging the foam, I don't know, but I will try and give it a go. I need to remove it at least in the places where it's attached to the fiberglass, because it's no longer glued. So I'll get on and remove the frame, and then I'll come back to you when I've removed this cover. So that's the frame off the bottom. This is going to need painting, so I will paint it. Some people do ask me in the comments why I don't paint metal parts on some seats. It's because the customer doesn't want it, or he can't afford it. It's not in his budget. They just want a repair. But with this, it's in his budget, and the seat frame will get painted because you can see it's not in great condition. So I'll put this to one side. I'll deal with that later once I've done the seat itself. Now, someone has had a go at gluing this here. Now, this scrim should come off the back quite easily. Shouldn't have any problems here. And all this dust here is from the foam. That's what's left of the foam. Now I am going to save this cushion. Okay, the scrim is coming off the foam quite alright. The cover is now removed from the seat, and what I need to do, I need to split the main cover from the seat pad here. It's just literally, I hope it's just glued on. I think it is. Yeah, it's just glued on. And the cover that is on the foam is glued to the foam as well. I may not be able to put any more padding in it. I don't want to damage this cover. I want to keep this cover. I will try and remove it from the foam. If I can't, I'll just leave it. There's no point in doing any damage to it. But we will see, as always. Alright, that's quite dirty now. That's just from the deteriorated foam on here. I'll give it a brush off, hoover it off, and then I will deal with that later. I'll deal with that once I've put the cover back onto here. But the first thing is to do is to get rid of all the old glue, which will be a little bit of a boring task. It's just a case of white spirits, cover it, and remove the glue. Now I need to be careful where the foam is, but I will do a little bit of a test on some of the foam that's here and see what happens. It may lift the foam, it may not, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to give it a go. But I do need to remove as much of the glue on the fiberglass as I can. I'll start on the back because I can just lather the whole back with white spirits and let that soak in. This is just a standard white spirits. I think in America they call it mineral spirits. I think some other parts of the world they call it mineral spirits. But us in England call it white spirits. I don't know why we call it white spirits. And I'm just going to cover the whole thing. Now it'll take probably 5 minutes-ish to start doing its stuff. So I'm just going to leave that for a little while now. If you're going to comment about why I'm not wearing gloves because white spirits gets absorbed by your hands, I don't care. It's a simple answer. I'm a heavy smoker and I use lots of chemicals every day, and you got to dye something, haven't you? So yeah, having white spirits soaking in your skin doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, then you wear gloves, but you do you and I'll do me. Right, so that is now all the glue removed on both seats, so passenger and driver seat. That took a long time. If you want to know, to get the seats out, take the covers off, remove all the old glue, was probably nearly a full day's work. It's now the following day. I'm going to leave these for a little while now. Because I've used white spirits on the foam, I want the white spirits to evaporate off. I'm going to prep the seat frames and spray them black, and then once that's done, I'll come back onto these and start to do the covering in the fabric, which hopefully won't take me anywhere near as long as removing all that glue. I've painted the frames now and I'm ready to cut the fabric out. I've got the fabric on the bench. This is obviously face down, so this is the back of the fabric. I'm going to overcut the pieces. I'm just going to do one seat now. I'm not going to do them both at the same time. Just going to do the passenger seat first, and then once I've got the passenger seat done and I know everything's alright, I will do the driver's seat. It's always better to do it like that, to cut things out. If you've never done something before, better just to cut one of them out and do effectively a test. I'm going to cut out the piece. I'm just going to cut out a big rectangle, oversized. Once I glue it on, I'll trim it as I'm gluing it, and then we'll see how we get on. I'll leave a link in the description as well to the fabric that I'm using, also to the glue that I'm using. I always get asked what glue do I use, so I'll leave a link in the description to the glue and anything else that I use as well. So I've marked a halfway point so I can put this on the seat evenly. Right, so that is well oversized. Better to be too big than too small. When I come to apply glue on this, I'm not going to spray glue the seat, but I'll spray glue the actual fabric. What I want to do is just put glue into the recesses here. I'm not going to put glue onto the foam. I will do the base separately. I want to get this backrest part in first, and then I can apply glue to the other areas. Now I'm just going to use a brush for this, just to get it into the recesses. Applied 2 lots of glue to the areas on the seat. I'm now going to put the fabric onto the bench and spray glue onto the back of that. So I've sprayed one coat of glue onto the fabric. I'm going to let that just tack up a little bit, then I'll spray another coat. Once I've sprayed the second coat, I'll remove this from the bench, I'll put the seat back on the bench, and then I can start to apply this to the seat. Now I am going to use some patterning plastic to stop the fabric from sticking onto the seat. People get confused about this. They think that I leave the patterning plastic underneath. I don't. It's just a barrier between the glue and the glue on the seat, and when I work in certain areas I don't want other areas to stick. I want to be able to just work in that area, make sure that area sticks, and then I'll adjust where the patterning plastic is and then work down on the seat and eventually remove the whole bit of plastic. Plastic doesn't stay there, it's not a sticky plastic, it's just a barrier. Just like if you're baking a cake and you put parchment paper onto the baking tin, it does the same thing. It's a non-stick barrier. I'll leave a link in the description to where I get that from as well. Now I'm going to spray the second coat in the opposite direction. So I went this way with the first coat, I'm going to go this way with the second coat. So I'm going to start at the top. So remember that I put a line down the centre of the fabric. I'm going to line that up with the centre here and then make sure it's straight down the centre here, and we should be alright. Now I am going to split this at the bottom where the cover goes onto here. I want to split it, and it's just going to make life a little bit easier when I manipulate it to get it onto these side bits here. Right, that is roughly in the right position, I hope. Now this is just a case of working down. This is literally just going to be a case of manipulating it. It's very hard to explain what I'm doing really. I'm pushing, pulling and trying to get this in without putting any wrinkles in it, which on this top part here, this is going to be the trickiest part because it's quite a deep recess and there's not a lot of room for error on this part here. Happy on one side but not on the other side. There we go. I know I did mention at the beginning of this video I wasn't sure whether this was a genius idea or Lotus being cheap. I don't think it's either. I think it's quite a skilled thing that I'm going to have to do here. I'm already not liking one of the sides. Right, give you a quick look. Yeah, this is going to be quite a lot of manipulation. Right, I've got rid of the patterning plastic completely. Don't think I'm actually going to need it. So now that I've got this top part in here, I think I'm going to work straight down the centre. I think what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to warm the cover up while I do this. So what the problem is the glue has just gone a little bit too hard. It's no longer tacky. So I'm going to apply a bit of heat, and that'll make the glue a bit tacky again, and we'll see how we get on with that. So we're alright at this point I've got to, but now that I'm working a bit further down, the glue isn't grabbing the same as it should do. So if I apply some heat, that should help. Now I've got the top piece in here and down the centre, so I'm going to work outwards from that centre line now. So I'm going to do this side first, and then I'll work on the other side. There are a few wrinkles that I need to tease out, but I can, hopefully. Now I hope this is going to go alright. I think it should, but only time will tell. So I've got initially stuck there. I'm just going to apply a little bit more glue to here, bit more heat here, and then just get that forced in. top part has now been done, not done completely, but I've got the face part of it in, and I'm relatively happy with it. I could be happier, but couldn't we all? So now I'm going to do the base bit. It's only this little strip here that needs covering, because the cushion that goes here covers most of this area here. It's just a case of put loads of glue on, let that tack up, and then stretch this bit over and try and get rid of any wrinkles. And once I've done all that, I'll flip it on its back, or I'll flip it over so the back's facing. I'll glue all these edges that are around here onto the back, do any trimming that I need to do, and then I will put the back piece on and then glue the cushion in place and attach all the bits, and that seat will be done. Right, so that's all the face done now. I need to do the back and glue this cushion into place, put the base on, and that will be done for that seat. passenger seat now finished, it's in the car. I need to get on and do the driver's seat, but I won't be filming that because it's exactly the same as the passenger seat, no different. But I'll show you some shots of the seat now it's in the car. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, give it the old thumbs up, and I hope to see you again. Thanks for watching. Bye.